Hi students, I hope you're doing well. It's near the end of our first week of the class in Module 1, and I just thought I would give a few announcements before I move into the weekend. And I'll probably do this each week. Sometimes posting them here on the questions, ideas, information discussion board, sometimes sending the video to you through the D2L messaging system. I'll pretty much try to communicate with you through D2L the most and won't send you any class related emails to your student email account that you access through eWolf. So it's just easier for me. But I thought I have kind of 3 points to make to you today. I want to talk about my availability, which is at the top of the syllabus. You see I'm showing that now. I want to talk just for a second or two about the textbooks, because I've had a few questions from students this week, both in the required syllabus question discussion board post you're doing and also via email. And then I want to talk about the check-in meetings a little bit more. Just to remind you about them and my office hours that I will do on a weekly basis. So let's start with how to get in contact with me. I just talked to you about me contacting you mostly through the D2L messaging system or through the discussion board, giving video updates specifically on Thursday and or Friday, the second video of each week. If there is the need for one, will show up on Thursdays or Fridays. Because going into the weekend, you'll notice I don't check email on the weekends. So I'm a little bit more attentive to your questions and emails during the first week, just to make sure you're feeling good about the class, you're feeling welcome, you feel like everything's easy to find. But once we move into Module 2, and I know you've looked at things and asked me questions, I will not be online all the time. I'm not online all the time now. I like to eat and sleep, but I will be online less. I'll check my email and D2L messaging system messages you may have sent Monday through Thursday from 8 until 9. I'll also check the discussion board at that time to make sure there aren't any questions in that questions forum. And then on Fridays from 10 to 11, and you notice there are no weekend hours. So for those of you planning to do the majority of your work on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm going to, again, highly recommend that you log into the class at some point during the week. I recommend Mondays just so you can make a plan for yourself for the week, but maybe you do it on Tuesday or Wednesday just to make sure you don't have any questions, because if you're going to wait until Saturday and Sunday and I'm not around to answer questions because it's my weekend, you're going to need to find a way to review the work and then think about the work and then send questions before the weekend happens. So just a reminder that I'm not going to be as strict with that for Module 1, just because I'm trying to ensure everyone is comfortable. I will check my email once on Saturday and once on Sunday when I feel like doing it. But other than that, 1 week where I'm a little bit more attentive. I'm always attentive, you all, but I just can't be sitting in front of my computer all the time, right? I'm a human being and I love having a beer on my deck in the evening and relaxing. One beer. I have one beer. Maybe some chips and dip. All right, but anyhow, that's just a reminder about my online availability. I will assess your writing. I will check your discussion board posts, review your quiz assignments that you submit in future weeks at other times when I'm working during the day. But I like that you know that I'm checking email and D2L messaging system messages at these times. Remember that my office hours are not existent. I'm working from home. So if you want to meet on campus, I am assigned to Boulder County campus. I'm full-time faculty at BCC. So we can meet there. We could also meet at a coffee house or something that's like in the middle between the two of us or something like that. But probably Zoom meetings will work the best, right? Because we're taking an online class for a reason. I'm teaching an online class and you're taking it for a reason so that we don't have to show up at a certain place. So probably Zoom will work the best if you want to talk to me. But if you really want to meet face-to-face, email me and we can probably work something out. One last thing, I am going to, related to how to get a hold of me and my availability, I am going to have an office hour each week on Wednesdays from 4 to 4:30. I find it's kind of the middle of the week, Thursday might be more the middle of the week, but I'm choosing Wednesdays from 4 to 4:30. I didn't do one yesterday, so the first time I will hold office hours will be on June 8th, so that'll be next Wednesday. And I don't intend to put them on the check-in sign-up sheet because I do want it to be kind of an open door. Whoever shows up, I'll just admit them. It's often helpful for students to hear questions other students are asking, and then I'm answering them. So I will hold office hours for those 30 minutes. If I notice no one is showing up after the first couple of weeks, I probably won't hold them anymore. And then I'll just use those that 30 minutes for check-in meeting times. So wanted you to know that the first one will be next Wednesday. Let's talk about the textbook. Just going down a little bit in the syllabus here. A couple of questions about the textbook, you all, this week. People are asking me things like, oh my gosh, which one's better? Or which one's cheaper? Or which one do you recommend? All right, so I've used Everything's an Argument many times. I actually started my career 25 years ago teaching a Composition 2 class with the class in its first edition. So I'm very familiar with the textbook. When there are edition updates, the content of the textbook does not change very much. They might choose some new example readings. They might redevelop a chapter a little bit. So what's different in 9 compared to 8? The evaluation of sources section is much better in 9, but I will supplement for those of you who have 8 with other information, so that's not a thing to be worried about. There's a different example rhetorical analysis in 9 than there is in 8, but I'm going to share those with you the first couple of weeks anyway. So the thing I want to say very quickly is I'm sharing PDF copies of a lot of the required reading in the textbooks only through the end of Module 2. As of the beginning of Module 3, I will no longer share that information. I'll expect you to have your textbook. So, folks who've been asking me, where do I buy this? Do I have to get it from the Front Range bookstore? No. You probably will find a better deal somewhere else. Edition 9 just came out last fall, so it's going to probably be a little harder to find used copies at reasonable rates. You may end up having to rent a copy from the Front Range bookstore or pay full price for it if you want to buy Edition 9. Edition 8 is green. You'll be able to find copies of it from people selling it through the Amazon Marketplace or wherever they're selling it, whatever textbook websites you're using. Probably be able to get this pretty cheap. And so yes, I will provide page numbers for all the required readings in both editions all semester, so you pick which textbook you want to use and go with it, and you'll be great either way. Last thing I want to talk to you about are check-in meetings. I've had probably the most questions about check-in meetings. So sorry, I was figuring out what window I was going to. Sorry for that little blank white space for a moment. So you all look, I am on course materials content in our D2L shell, and you'll notice there's a page called Check-in Meetings with Beth. And I'm already on that page, so I've already clicked on it. I'm just going to scroll up, and you notice that there's some repetition from the syllabus about how to contact me when I'm checking email, the Zoom office hours, which I've already talked about. And then I remind you about the check-in meetings here and that there's a sign-up sheet. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the sign-up sheet. Module 1 and Module 2 are released now or available. The sign-up sheet is available to you now. I will release a sign-up sheet every 2 weeks. And so you just click on the link. It takes you to a Google Sheets document. I've already talked about this document in another video, so I'm not going to show that again. One thing I do want to remind you, though, is that I do expect that you're signing up for these meetings at least 12 hours in advance. If I happen to see somebody requesting a check-in meeting like 8 hours in advance, I'm not going to be that strict. But, like I went in today. I actually will show you. I was already in there today. No one had signed up for anything. So I blocked out in red today's times because no one's requested one. You're all busy reading the syllabus and asking questions and all that stuff. So there are some availability, check-in meeting availabilities tomorrow. Is availability a word? Well, I just made up a word. But some appointments are available tomorrow and then next week. And this is a good time for me to tell you that I think Module 2 is going to be the work heaviest week of the semester. And the reason that's true is because I try to front load a lot of your reading and learning about the rhetorical situation in the early parts of the semester so you can really focus on writing and revision at the end of the semester. So be prepared for Module 2. There's a lot of reading. There's a lot of video watching, kind of giving you some lectures about content that you need to use the whole semester long. So if you can get through Module 2, you're good. You're going to be awesome in the class. You're going to be awesome anyway, but you might want to have a check-in meeting with me next week if there's anything you want me to explain. If you're having trouble figuring out how to write your rhetorical analysis, checking in with me next week would be a great idea. All right, I think that's it. We went over how to get a hold of me, when I'm online checking email. We went over the textbooks, and I got to review the check-in meeting stuff so that you know where to find all the information. There's so much to read, you all, so thank you for being patient this week with all the reading. That's how online learning works. There's really not any other option, but hopefully these videos have been helpful for you so that you can kind of hear me talking about certain things, and it kind of speeds up your understanding of how the class will work. Take care, you all. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you for sure when I'm responding to your syllabus questions, and then for sure at the beginning of Module 2. Take care.